Hello everyone, this is Connie Avila von Leitner. Welcome to the Global Transformation Show. We are here live in Los Angeles, California at the Conscious Live Expo, and I am here with a wonderful, amazing woman from the panel FEM. Her name is Karen Tate. Welcome, Karen. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I would like to know what brought you here today. What was the inspiration behind your involvement with FEM, the documentary, and what your vision has been by joining Emmanuel Etier in this project?
Well, I think it was a wonderful opportunity to explain to the mainstream world what losing a feminine face of God has meant to our culture, to society, to women and men both. And not only did FEM give us the opportunity to explain all of that, but it also offered solutions to how ideals of the sacred feminine, archetypes and role models of the sacred feminine actually provide a template and values for a more sustainable world. Because most of us really understand that what's going on out there in the world right now, it isn't working. It's falling apart. It doesn't serve the majority of us, and we're looking for a new normal. And really, what's really old and ancient is being looked at again and rethought and embraced. And we're cherry picking the best ideas of the past that have maybe been forgotten or swept to the wayside, and because we realize that those are ideals and values that can help us create a more sustainable future.
Wonderful. Now, we know that the title FEM addresses, it's a French, title for women. However, what would you like the global audience to know in regards to FEM? Because it's not just about being conscious of the feminine energy, but this also applies to men on a global scale. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Really, if you would cut to the chase, if you wanted to get right to the bottom line, this is about creating a paradigm of partnership. It's creating a new society, a new way of being in the world for most of us. It's about negotiation, it's about collaboration, it's about partnership, instead of what we've had for thousands of years: exploitation, domination, war, disharmony. That doesn't work, and people are starting to wake up to that, and we understand that the only way for us to go forward is together in a society that's caring and sharing, that's balanced, and that all takes partnership and negotiation. No more can it just be the elite at the top dominating everything that happens to the rest of us at the bottom of the heap. It's time for an evolution.
Absolutely. My Global Transformation Show is designed to positively evolve and encourage people out there, but of course elevate them as well. Do you feel that this is the most critical moment in time for this documentary to be presented to the world out there? And what do you think it's going to do as far as a paradigm shift in thinking for everyone out there?
Well, yes, I do think we're at a crucial time. It's been described that we are on the tip of a knife, and things can shift one way or another. But it doesn't take the majority of us on the planet to change the world. In fact, it takes a small percentage of aware people to actually make this shift happen so that life is better for the most of us. And FEM is a brave documentary. It starts at the beginning. It talks about the feminine face of God, because Goddess really is 30 to 40,000 years old. We have had goddesses so much longer than we've had male God. It talks about the taboos that religion brings to us. It talks about all of these issues that have created the imbalances that we have in the world. And the most important, rather than just speak about the difficulties, it explains what each of us us can do, how men and women together can stand shoulder to shoulder in solidarity, in love, in partnership, to really create a better life on this planet for all of us. And it is crucial because, Mother Earth is, she's being fracked every day. She's being poisoned. We have corporations that have run amok. We have predator capitalism. Women don't make, equal pay for equal work. There's infanticide, domestic violence. There are an awful lot of issues we have to deal with. But caring, sharing, partnership, ideals of the sacred feminine, ideals of the feminine is what we need to counter these patriarchal energies, these patriarchal ideas of the authoritarian father that has shaped society. Because we learn that mythology shapes our cultures, and when you only grow up with a society that knows an authoritarian father, you miss the other half of the equation. You end up with male leadership, you end up with male domination, you end up with women who have been indoctrinated to believe that they are less than men, that they have to serve men, that they are subservient to men, and you end up with all of these isms that have caused so much suffering in the world. There are millions of children go to bed hungry every night. Women and children are at the margins of society rather than being at the center, because women are the sacred life givers. Children are our future. We have to get back to the idea that women as life givers are sacred, that children are important, and we really have to reshape our values, because no longer can it be the people with the most money, the people with the most power call the shots. That isn't what we should aspire to anymore. We have to create a new normal, and that new normal has to be more a world of caring, sharing, equality, justice, partnership. Those are what we're aiming for. Men and women together embracing those ideals for all of us, rather than what we've, the militarism, the wars, the exploitation, the domination, all of these things that have created so much hardship and poverty and suffering in the world.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy that you're addressing this to a global audience, because as we know, bringing everyone from the FEM panel together and creating this amazing project is going to be of great influence, of great education for a lot of people out there. And as we know, FEM documentary is something that everyone should be in tune to, should watch, should be very consciously aware of what all these people within this documentary are speaking of. Be more conscious. Is that not correct?
Absolutely. We really have to start taking responsibility for our own education. We can't stop learning. We can't stop with what we learn at the dinner table, what we learn at the pulpit, what we learn from our educational institutions. We have to go beyond that, because so often those are geared toward keeping the status quo in check, keeping things exactly as they are. And we know that isn't working. So we have to have the courage to give ourselves permission to find the new normal, to actually think about other ideas and ways of being in the world. And FEM, it should be required viewing for everyone, because it starts at the beginning. It starts 40,000 years ago, and it goes forward to today, and it has the courage to show how detrimental religions have been to our cultures, religions that only honor a male face of God, and what that has done women, and what that, how that has propped up patriarchy. Because let's face it, if God says that something is, well, then it is. You can't dispute it. It has given men license to dominate women and the earth and the species on the planet for thousands of years. And it's time, it's time for Gaia. It's time for us to look at Mother Earth, to look at the feminine face of God, so that the male and the feminine, the sacred masculine and the divine feminine can come together in balance. It's not about female domination. It's about coming together in balance and partnership.
What a beautiful way of you expressing this to the audience. I thank you so much for your time, for being with the Global Transformation Show here live in Los Angeles, California. This has been a wonderful experience. You have brought about many important issues that in general humanity needs to start taking, more aware and be more conscious of what's really going on around the globe and how we need to take on a new paradigm shift of thinking. And we also have to begin to take action for ourselves. Everyone out there needs to take action. I thank you so much for being with us here today. Would you like to say goodbye to our audience and any other message before we go?
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity because it is so important, and this isn't the kind of information we get from the mainstream media because after all, they are run by the corporations, So I would just say I have a radio show, Voices of the Sacred Feminine. I would appreciate if viewers would like to tune into that on Blog Talk Radio. I have been a host of the show for 8 years. There's a wonderful archive there. I interview incredible men and women about this very broad topic about the sacred feminine as deity, archetype, and ideal. Or go to my website, which is my name, KarenTate.com. I have so much there. I have all my books there. I have talks that I give to communities, and that's really sort of the go-to place to find out about any of this I've been discussing with you today. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much for joining us and sharing your information with the global audience as well, where they can now reach you, find you. If they have any questions, they want to be in contact with you, now they can do so. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Karen, we appreciate you at the Global Transformation Show. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Connie, there.